It's 7 o'clock. We'll start the meeting. If I can get someone to read the acknowledgement. Councillor Carter.
Today, I acknowledge that the town of Bruderheim is located on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis Nation of Alberta. The town of Bruderheim honors the first peoples of this land. We recognize that we stand upon land that carries the footsteps of Cree, Métis, and Blackfoot amongst other nations who have been here for thousands of years. Therefore, the town of Bruderheim has an inherent responsibility to foster healthier relationships with First Peoples and further the calls to action as outlined by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, sir. I'd like to add under request for decisions, briefing note 8.1, councillor resignation, 8.2, signing authority, and 8.3, by-election.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to adopt the agenda as amended?
I adopt the agenda as amended.
Thank you. And confirmation of last meeting's minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look through them? And if so, would someone like to make a motion to approve them? Councillor Campbell?
I'll make a motion that we accept the last meeting's minutes as presented.
Thank you. Any information requests, starting with Councillor Campbell?
Yeah. How are we making out with our water out on Highway 45? Every day I drive by there and I see a big puddle. Half the road is covered in water continuously. This is unacceptable.
Administration?
We do have a meeting set up later in the month with Alberta Transportation to see what all can be done. But at this time, Dennis is working on options and he is away on vacation.
Well, what are we doing to prevent this flooding? These people are having to drive through this water continuously. And our neighbor to the south of us keeps pumping and pumping faster than what we're taking it away. There's got to be something done there. ASAP.
We have spoken with the person in question. The pumping is within his permit with Alberta Environment.
But the common sense says if you're pumping in a 4-inch flow and you're taking it out in a 2-inch flow, that pumping from exit does not keep up with the input.
I think CEO Phyllis mentioned that they're going to meet. They are having a meeting with.
Is not going to solve it now. We have to do something now to stop the continuous flooding. The meetings in the future, I appreciate that, but what do we do now to stop it?
That would be a question for Dennis, and I'm sure he's going to be working on that to the next day or so. Tomorrow.
When is he back?
I don't know.
Late next week. Sorry, late next week.
Okay, so we got another 7 days of putting up with this. We have to do something with it now. Put in another pump or talk to our neighbor to cut back or something, but this has got to stop. We can't keep flooding the road and pushing water up to just about the other side of the curb. It's got to stop.
I will take your comments under advisement and do whatever and the best I can, sir.
I thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Councillor Carter.
A question for Councillor Dana, just if you could let us know when the date is for the meeting for volunteers and interest in helping out in the town.
Excellent question, Ashley. Thank you. So we are having July 12th at 6:30 here in this room. We're having a meeting. So for everybody that's listening to, we have a September Fall Festival coming up, which has a lot of events, and we are looking for people to come and contribute ideas, help volunteer. So July 12th at 6:30, we're all to meet here and go over what the game plan is. So I hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Just double checking, June 12th, 6:30 at the fire hall.
July 12th, 6:30 at the fire hall.
Yes, thank you.
Counselor Flardo,
Nothing at this time.
Counselor Jacobs,
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
and I actually do have one question. I know it's not our area, but the 560 that was just finished up. All the approaches coming out of that road, do they not have culverts under them? Would you know? And if so, can they be opened up?
I will check into that, sir, but I don't know that.
Okay, thank you. Program requests, Counselor Campbell,
Nothing at this time.
Counselor Carter,
Nothing at this time.
Counselor Flardo,
Nothing at this time.
Counselor Jacobs.
Nothing at this time. Thank
Right, 8.1, Counselor resignation, CAO Phyllis.
Unfortunately, administration and council received an email this morning from Deputy Mayor Schuler identifying her resignation effective July 20th, 23. Section 161 of the MDA gives direction to the CAO. The resignation of a councillor must be in writing and given to the chief administration officer, and that happened. A chief elected official appointed by council who resigns the office of the chief elected officer remains on the council as a councillor. The resignation is effective on the date it is received by the CAO, even if the later date is set out in resignation. And I must report the resignation at first council meeting after receiving the resignation.
It's too bad we can't vote on this, but I guess like everybody else, I'm sure, is I want to thank you for your years here in council, and we appreciate everything you've done, and all the best in your future endeavors.
Just a minute.
Sorry, Counselor Campbell.
I would like to address Judy. I think you did a wonderful job. You've always kept the town in mind, the citizens in mind, but most of all, the seniors. They really appreciated you. You'll be missed, but you won't be forgotten.
I will be very hard.
Any other discussion? 8.2, signing authority, CAO.
So upon deputy mayor resignation, that leaves us with only one council member authorized to sign documents, the mayor, and he's away on vacation. The procedure bylaw states in section 6.1 that signing authority is appointed annually at the organizational meeting. I am asking for a resolution to appoint one more council member with signing authority until organizational meeting in October. So your options are to appoint another member of council with signing authority and or to continue to operate with the mayor with having signing authority on behalf of council. Our recommendation is that you appoint somebody from council with a signing authority.
So is this done by nomination, or is it done by just?
By resolution, sir. So any member of council could make a resolution to appoint X.
Okay.
I'll make a resolution that we appoint Deputy Mayor Wayne Leco, acting mayor, yeah.
Is there any discussion on that? None. Call for a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. 8.3, by-election. CAO Phyllis.
So upon receipt of resignation by Deputy Mayor Schuler this morning, we conducted research on a need for a by-election or a request for extension from the Minister of Municipal Services. As the resignation has come during summer recess and shortly after the provincial election, we will not likely be granted an extension as our bylaw to reduce 5 will not be presented for first reading and then public participation until August 2023. The MGA section 165 states that unless the council sets an earlier date, election day for a by-election under section 162 or 163 is 120 days after vacancy occurs. The resignation was received July 5th, so the by-election would occur on November 2nd, 2023, unless council wishes an earlier date. The Local Authority Election Act, Section 25, identifies nomination day as 4 weeks before election day. A person may file a nomination to become a candidate for a by-election within a period beginning on the day after the resolution or bylaws passed to set election day for the by-election and ending at 12 noon on the nomination day. If council were to determine November 2nd as election day, the nomination day would be October 12th. Your options are to set election day as November 2nd and October 12th as nomination day, or to choose another day with the nomination day being 4 weeks earlier as per legislation.
Thank you, CO Phyllis. Somebody like to make a motion? Councillor Flardo?
I make a motion that we set the date for the election on November 2nd, is it? And 4 weeks prior to that, nomination day. Which date was that?
October 12th?
October 12th.
Okay.
That gives us lots of time. We won't be rushed.
Thank you, Councillor Flardo. Any discussion on that? Right, all those in favor?
Oh, so
Sorry.
nomination day would be,
Oh.
then nominations would cease October 12th.
No, they would start tomorrow and end at 12 noon on October 12th.
Start tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that'd be about 3 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess we got no choice.
So all those in favor? Carried. No, go ahead.
What if no one is nominated? Or we don't have someone who wants to take that position?
So in the case that we don't have nominations, council does have the, and I'm just trying to remember what I read in the act this morning. You do have the ability to appoint someone, or you have to keep nominations open, and then you have to let the minister know. So we're hoping that we do have folks that come forward.
Thank you.
How
Thank you,
does this
Councillor
affect,
Carter. Sorry,
how does this affect our procedure for going from 7 to 5?
It won't affect us at all. We're working on the bylaw now. It will be presented to council for first reading in the August meeting, and then we will do public participation. We've already started that in the
Yeah.
newsletter and such, and we'll continue to do that. And the council will remain at 7, with my understanding from the last meeting, until the next election, when we would have 5.
Okay, thank you for that information.
thank you. 8.4, 3-year forecasted operating plan. CAO Phyllis?
So Sharon has attached for you the proposed forecasted 3-year operating plan. This is done in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, and council must annually review and update its 3-year financial plan. The intent is to develop a plan, not a multi-year budget. Inflation growth and service changes have been forecasted, and the primary benefit of this plan is to identify future financial challenges and opportunities, allowing administration and council to plan and develop a roadmap to minimize, eliminate challenges, and take full advantage of the opportunities. So the options are that you approve the 3-year forecasted operating plan for the town as presented, or that you provide direction for changes to the plan. And we recommend that you approve as presented.
Thank you, CAO Phyllis. Would somebody like to make a motion? Councillor Campbell?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve as presented.
Okay, so the town council approved the 3-year forecasted plan as presented. Any questions, comments? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. 8.5 records retention and disposition bylaw 04-2023. CAO Phyllis.
At the last meeting, we reviewed updates to retention policies as per legislation, historical or business value. The retention schedule details outline specifically what goes under each function and activity in great detail, including legislation that determines the retention period. This was given first reading last meeting, and this time at this meeting, we are asking council to provide second and third reading.
Thank you for that. Would somebody like to make a motion for the second reading? Councillor Flardo.
That bylaw 04-2023 records retention and deposition bylaw be given second reading.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns? Councillor Campbell.
Records retention, that means the previous records or our historic records? I have a little problem with that because if we're getting rid of historical records, you know,
So each record is given and assigned a value. So legislation says that we have to keep it for X amount of years. Some records say by legislation, we have to keep them forever. A census has to be kept for 100 years. And then the disposition can be go to an archive, can be to be transferred to a museum, or they can be destroyed. You have many things in a records system that have very little value. They have no business value, there's no historical value, and there's no legislative value. And those are shredded in due course. There are other records that we deem to be historically valuable, and they may have a permanent retention. Council minutes, bylaws, those are permanent records. They can never be destroyed.
I was just wondering about that. Thanks for that information.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell and CAO Phyllis. Any other questions or concerns or comments? All those in favor? And it's passed. Thank you. 8.6 dangerous goods route bylaw 0. Sorry.
She's requesting we do the third.
Oh,
reading.
sorry, you're right. Sorry, I missed that one. Can we also get a motion for the third reading, please? Councillor Campbell.
I'll make the motion for the third reading of the records retention and disposition bylaw 04-2023 as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any comments, questions, concerns? Call for motion. All in favor? Carried. 8.6 dangerous goods route bylaw 05-2023. CAO Philip.
If it pleases your worship, I will ask Sherry to speak to this item.
The dangerous goods bylaw 05-2023. The dangerous goods route bylaw 23-2014 was passed by council on March 5th, 2014, council resolution 40-2014. His administration presented the traffic safety bylaw 01-2022 to council in August 2022 for first reading, and within this bylaw, information on the dangerous goods was included as part of it. In April 2023, administration sent the traffic safety bylaw to the Traffic Safety Services Division for review and received documented feedback on changes required in the bylaw to meet the most recent regulations. The decision was made to remove the dangerous goods component from the traffic safety bylaw and create a separate bylaw. And so what will happen tonight is you'll do first reading, but again, once we complete first reading, then it goes back to the government for their review because they have to sign off on this bylaw for us. So the council options are to approve the first reading of bylaw 05-2023, the dangerous goods route bylaw, or to request that administration review the bylaw for other amendments.
Thank you, Sherry. I would like to get someone to can even talk. Councilor Jacobs.
I would like to approve first reading for dangerous goods routes bylaw 05-2023.
Thank you, Councilor Jacobs. Any questions or comments? Councilor Campbell?
I read through your bylaws in your map of the dangerous goods. If we're going to have a dangerous goods route, then we have to have it posted. Secondly, if you're going to allow parking in town of your dangerous goods, where are they going to park? We have to have a designated parking area. As it is right now, we have people using the parking lot across in the church. Dangerous goods, gas. I've seen ammonia trucks there. I've seen other dangerous goods. If it's a dry product, it ain't so bad. If it's pressurized gas, it is bad. So these are the things that we have to look in our, think about in our bylaw before we pass it, as to where we're going to park these things and how we're going to police these things. And we have to have the dangerous goods route posted.
Thank you, Councilor Campbell. Any comments from admin? Councilor Jacobs?
So just for admin, we send this off to them and they review it and then they'll make that, like, they'll obviously point that stuff out, right? Because they do it all over. So, okay.
Anybody, any other comments? No? I have some, is there any parking allowed in town currently for dangerous goods?
Within the bylaw, you'll notice that if anybody wants to park in town or wants to choose a different route, they have to get a permit through the CAO or through the fire department. And that is part of the Government of Alberta requirements. That was the part that they asked us to add into our bylaw that wasn't in there previously.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. A trucker pulls into town. He's run out of hours. He's pulling a dangerous goods load. Where does he go? Your office is not open at that time. No, it ain't. Truckers move goods from point A to point B, and they do stop on the road. It's just practical sense.
Yep, I've seen them park on 52nd Ave as well. And so is it safe to say that any truck with a placard is a dangerous good?
No.
All right. So I guess we'll have to, if this passes and Alberta traffic is okay with it, then we need to post no parking signs of, okay. Any other questions? Councilor Campbell?
I would like to put this in the bylaw before it has to go to transportation. It shows the transportation that we are able to do some thinking of our own without them having to tell us.
Tell us what, sorry,
Well, that we have to have these in our bylaw.
sorry, CAO.
What we put in the bylaw is different than an implementation plan. So as we work with transportation, as we go through the rest of the process on this, we do develop in-house our operations plan, which is separate from the bylaw.
Thank you. Does that answer your question?
In theory, then we got two different methods or documents, right? We have the one that the transportation sends out, and then we have our own.
No, we have our bylaw, which is the law that we do, and then we have what is staff is our operations plan. So our operations plan will include signage. We won't have any parking in town. There's very little you can do about a truck driver that wishes to stop because he's miles out. That happens everywhere, all over the world. If we don't have a dangerous good bylaw, we are opening ourselves to allow trucks to drive on any road, dangerous goods to be anywhere in park, anywhere in our town.
That is very understandable. I thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Call for motion or call for a vote. All in favor? Passed. 8.7 tax service agreement. CO Phyllis.
At the June 21st, 2023 regular council meeting, a motion was made to proceed with a tax recovery that had skipped a step in our procedures. The tax recovery procedure is very time sensitive, and as administration doesn't do it very often, sometimes steps get overlooked and little things get missed. In previous professional appointments, I worked with an organization that handles tax recovery. It's a relatively painless, simple, and cost-effective process. We, in January, provide a list of properties, outstanding accounts to the organization, and they do everything, right up to organizing the tax auction. All costs are recovered through the tax recovery process, and therefore it costs the town nothing at the end of the day. And we are asking you to authorize the chief administrative officer to enter into an agreement with tax service for tax collection and recovery, or we can continue to do it in-house. I believe that it's a cost-effective process. It also removes personal feelings out of the tax recovery process because it's handled and organized. So our recommendation is to enter into agreement.
Thank you, CO Phyllis. Would someone like to make a motion? Councillor Florida.
I make a motion that we make an agreement with I guess what's the name of the company? Tax Service on tax recovery.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Councillor Campbell.
Just one. Now, if we went through this company to do our tax recovery, would they be taking on this problem that we have already, or?
No, sir, I get to handle that one all by myself. I actually am just waiting for Alberta land titles.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have something in place for the next time. I agree.
Yeah. Anybody else? I agree with it too. I think it's great if it takes the load off of us and there's no cost to the town, and have at her. Let's do it. Have at her.
We need a motion on that.
There was a motion.
Oh, Leonard made it.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
Thanks,
those in
Leonard.
favor? Carried. Mayor and council committee reports. Hold on, just one sec. Oh, got it. Would somebody like to make a motion to accept mayor and council committee reports? Councillor Jacobs.
I accept the mayor and council committee reports as information.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Carried. Down to Chief Administrative Officer Report, 9.2.
Thank you, sir. So first we have the Chief Administrative Officer report and project report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that council may have. And then I do have a presentation for the 2023 service level review.
Would like to make a motion to approve the CAO report? Councillor Campbell.
I'll make a motion that we approve the chief administrating officer's report as information.
Are there any comments about the report or questions? I hear none. All those in favor? Carried. All right, CAO. Phyllis, you have
30
a
seconds.
slideshow.
As we started our service level review in June, I don't think I gave a good enough background to council on what this project is for me and what I hope to gain. So I hope we can get that through tonight. So I'm going to give this is a multi-part process. The complete agenda includes the introduction, council, legislation, corporate services, community services, and infrastructure services. At the last council meeting, we discussed council, and tonight we're going to focus on legislative services. The remaining divisions will be discussed at future meetings. On top of the provincial austerity budget, downloading and offloading of services have become more and more municipal responsibilities. We can no longer be all things to all people. Giving in many adversities, how does council balance the book, keep critical services available and functioning, and in return, keep the majority of the residents happy in our community? As the ultimate municipal authority, council has a critical role to play when it comes to setting the level of service the town of Bruderheim provides by demonstrating organizational commitment, clarifying resources available, and confirming the prioritization of the implementation process with respect to other organizational initiatives. Administration plays an integral role in providing the knowledge surrounding their functional areas to council. Strategic documents, reports, and plans guide decision on where to allocate resources, and through the review will further the objectives of these plans. The levels of services can be impacted or influenced by federal and provincial budgets, legislative requirements, corporate objectives and strategic documents, technology changes, climate change, service specifications and agreements, industry fluctuations, risk, demographics, community expectations and trade-offs, asset performance, resource availability, policies and procedures, and partnerships. As the service level reviewed progresses, indicators and performance measures will be created in a strategic manner to reflect customer service levels, the things that matter to the people, and technical or operational levels of service. Technical levels of service are the activities designed to support the delivery and achievement of customer levels of service. In a thorough review, alternative modes of delivery will also be explored. There are alternate service deliveries occurring at this time. The town of Bruderheim is also supported through our developed strategic relationships with both Lamont and Strathcona County. Tonight, you chose another alternate service method. Decisions. The 4 questions on the screen will be supported by these principles. Services will be delivered where citizens need them most, responding to the needs and wants of both the current and future community, being transparent with all stakeholders, focusing on effective provision of services, setting targets for quality and cost and benchmarking these against other organization standards, measuring and reporting regularly. The purpose of the town of Bruderheim is to deliver services, respond to the local need, to provide for the protection of people and property, and to foster democratic principles. The MGA outlines municipal purposes as providing good government, providing services, facilities, or other things that, in the opinion of council, are necessary and desirable for all or a part of the municipality, and developing safe and viable communities. Walt Disney said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. This is our current council. On June 2023, administration was tasked with drafting a bylaw and implementing public participation to reduce council to 5. Currently, we are developing public participation and will begin right away to ensure all residents are informed and encouraged to provide comment on this important topic. There are 4 functions to the organization: legislative services, corporate services, community services, and infrastructure services. As we work together, each of these areas has a division or team leader. I will head legislative services. Sharon will continue to be the lead on corporate services. Sherry will follow her passion into community services. And of course, Dennis will continue with infrastructure services. We are becoming a close team and assist each other along the way as needed. Tonight, our focus will be on legislation and the services provided. These services are completed by about 2 full-time equivalents within the spread over the whole budget. At budget presentation, we'll be looking at pulling out costs and allocating into the appropriate division. In each of those 6 areas, we are looking at areas of efficiency and improvement. In council services, the implementation of an electronic agenda software will increase efficiency and effectiveness by reducing the amount of time needed to create the agenda. Currently, it takes about 3 days for every meeting, and increasing the effectiveness by allowing the creation and approval of items through a cloud-based solution, pre-drafting of minutes, and this all reduces the time for the agenda and minute process. The implementation of the records management plan will enable efficiency and effectiveness in the retention, storage, and destruction of records in accordance with legislation. It also helps us all know where stuff is. The town of Bruderheim has many relationships and pays membership fees to quite a few. During budget, council can discuss the value of those we are members of and the value of being involved and the financial impact. Asset management. Bruderheim has a ton of asset management information that is scattered amongst 3 or 4 programs. The implementation of this project will combine all data in one location, connect our assets to our maps, tie into our financial system, and allow for fast and effective inspections in the field in a consistent manner, removing personal opinion. Effectiveness in emergency and protective services will be more effective if Sherry and myself can issue municipal tags. There's a bit of paperwork to do and the procedure to be developed. In our communications, I would hold any news services. Currently, we post on Facebook, the web, and a newsletter on utility billing, along with our signs. Newsletters are delivered to anybody else that wishes one. I'm not confident that the solution that is being worked on meets the goals of council. I see it as being another electronic newsletter and not what I thought council envisioned, which is a quick notification to a cell phone. So I'll be bringing that forth an item for clarification on that, on constant contact at a future time. The cost of implementation of these efficiencies is covered within our current budget. This can happen as we are getting a bundle of products at a discount and utilizing products we currently have and releasing those that are no longer as effective and efficient as needed. Sharon, Sherry, Dennis, and I have reviewed, discussed, and all agreed to the new processes. In summary, we will continue to work towards finding more effective and efficient technological solutions to providing the services our residents desire and value. Thank you. I will be more than happy to answer any questions council might have.
Thank you, CAO. Councillor Florida or Campbell, sorry.
I got to give you thanks for 2 words that you put in that presentation. Efficiencies. And I forget the other one. Effectiveness. This is something that I've been wanting done for a long time. What are we doing that we could do better? And how can we do it cheaper? I really thank you for your work that you put into this presentation. I thank you very much for bringing it forward and looking into the future to help this town. I think our residents, after watching that presentation, will have a better understanding of what the council does, what our town does, and what our needs and what we can provide and how we provide it. I thank you and administration ever so much for what you've done.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Anybody else have any comments? Councillor Jacobs?
Could you go back to the counselors where we were all lined up there?
Thank you, CAO Phyllis, for that presentation. That's the 9.2.1. 2.2. Service level review administration briefing. Can we get someone to make a motion to accept that? Councillor Flardo?
Right along. I make a motion that we accept the service level review administration briefing.
Any questions, comments on that? I call for motion. All in favor? Carried. Correspondence and information items. Letters to Alberta Land Use Secretariat Stewardship Commissioner. I don't know what that's about.
At the Rural Municipalities of Alberta, November 2022 conference, Smoky Lake County sponsored a resolution in support of resuming or continuing work on the Alberta Land Use Framework regional plans. This resolution did not get carried. In December 2022, Smoky Lake County Council passed a resolution that specifically addressed the North Saskatchewan Regional Plan. This action of the Smoky Lake County Council has been shared with other municipalities, which led to municipal leaders reaching out to the Alberta Land Use Secretariat Stewardship Commissioner, requesting that the Alberta Land Use Framework Regional Plan specifically related to the North Saskatchewan Regional Plan be considered for action. We received the following information to share with council. Email from Lands and Consultation Manager, Louisville Tribal, Masquachese, Alberta. Letter to the Alberta Land Use Secretariat, Stewardship Commissioner from Reeve and Division Councilors, Smoky Lake County. A letter to the Alberta Land Use Secretariat, Stewardship Commissioner from Mayor Tim McPhee, Town of Vegreville. For your information.
Thank you, CAO Phyllis. Would someone like to make a motion to accept this information? Councillor Carter?
I motion to accept the correspondence and information items.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Councillor Jacobs?
Can you explain it or whoever, just a little further, like not like explain what it is, because I'm confused.
So about 20 years ago, the province of Alberta determined that they were going to do land use stewardship plans for all of the major waterways in the province. As far as I know, and I worked at Clearwater when they started this in the North Saskatchewan River Basin. So it's not been completed. The only one that has been completed is the South Saskatchewan River Basin. And I think that happened down there because of the shortage of water.
Okay, cool. That makes more sense.
There's mud.
Does
Perfect.
Thank
Council
does
Campbell?
that also, does that also affect the Northern District watershed too?
I believe that watershed is a part of this land stewardship, the North Saskatchewan.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right, call for vote. All those in favor? Carried. 11.1, we're going to closed session. So I'd like someone to make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I would ask that resigned ex-deputy Mayor Schuler be allowed to attend that closed session. She has valuable information for me in it.
okay. I have no issues with that.
Oh.
Councillor Jacobs.
I motion that we go into closed session.
Okay, thank you. We're in closed session once it's All right, so I get a motion to go back into regular session or out of closed
That happened already.
okay, yes. All those in favor? And would like somebody to make a motion to adjourn. All three at once? Put your mic on.
Okay, I make that motion, we adjourn.
All those in favor? That's all, meeting adjourned.